What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Lockdown 23-1. That's right, we got some interesting things to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be answering a few questions that people have been asking me under my live stream video, okay? And the first question comes from Tino Cruz. He asked a very good question, and I'm going to try to break it down the best that I can. Yo, what happens to Latinos that go into prison but can't speak much Spanish? That's a very good question, and a man by the name of Garrett S. replied, and his reply was on point. But let me break it down to you, and I'm gonna answer a few more questions that are in this video, but let me try to break this one down first. All right, I am half Latino. Well, we will find out soon enough, because I did the old DNA thing, and it shows you exactly where you're from, this, that, and the third. It should be here any day. I can't wait to read the results to y'all. You know what I mean? So stay tuned for that. But check it out. My mother is Colombian, okay? From Colombia, South America. And all of my family on her side are from Colombia. Now, on my father's side, they're all gringos, you know, straight from Tennessee. But this is the crazy thing, all right? My mother, you know, and her whole side of the family, they all speak Spanish. Me, I don't speak Spanish, you know? My mom tried. High school tried, middle school tried to teach me Spanish. I didn't have time for that crap, okay? But check it out. When you go to prison, you know, just like me, a lot of people looked at me as a white dude, but other people knew I was mixed with something, you know? I had Spanish dudes, Latino dudes coming up to me and trying to get me to do this, that, and the third. But look, I was a lone wolf, all right? I said that once, and I'll say it again. I was a lone wolf in the penitentiary. I didn't want nobody conducting anything that I did. But also, like I said in some of my previous videos, over here in Virginia, you know, the Latinos, they're not as dominant as it is, let's say, on the West Coast in California, okay? Out here on the East Coast, it's mostly ran by black guys, you know what I mean? That's just how it rolls, and, you know, stuff is totally different where you're at. And the guy, Garrett, he answered good. He said, it depends on where you're at. Usually, people will teach you. Now, when I was in prison, all right, I've had people come up to me, at least 2 or 3 people come up to me saying, hey, man, I want to teach you Spanish. We ain't got nothing but time. I want to teach you Spanish, you know what I mean? And, you know, I tried. I sat in a cell with a couple dudes. I sat in a cell with this dude. He was Latin King. I sat in a cell with him for, you know, hours, days at a time, learning Spanish. I learned a little thing here and there, but at the end of the road, all I wanted to do was gamble. And I told him straight up, I said, look, man, I'm not really into this, man. I just don't feel like sitting here learning freaking Spanish. It's just like high school, you know what I mean? I remember in high school, you know, when you go to Spanish class, they give you a freaking Spanish name, you know? They're like, your name's gonna be Alfonso. That's what my Spanish teacher named me, Alfonso. I said, man, I don't want that shit, you know what I mean? That's what I said to the teacher, man. She goes, I don't give a shit what you want, Alfonso. I'll never forget it, man. I said, ooh, you talking back at me like that, man. I said, dang, all right, salute to you. I'm gone, though. You know what I mean? I dipped out. I'll never forget it. I dipped out the class, and I never went back. I talked to the counselor. I said, look, I'm not doing Spanish. I'm not doing it. I can't stand it. I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? So they put me in this freaking calculator class. Not calculus, but some other easy class that I started taking, and I passed that and went towards credit for graduation. But anyways, Spanish was not my thing, okay? Learning different languages, I would love to. I want to. It's almost like trying to quit cigarettes. I want to, okay? But when it comes down to it, I don't really want to, or else I would complete the challenge. You know what I mean? I just can't stand it. Math, learning new languages, you know, I just ain't got the time for it, even though I should make time for it. But in prison, you know, there are going to be people, especially if you're full-fledged Latino, man, there are going to be people that will help you. They will teach you Spanish. I've seen numerous people learn Spanish in order to join gangs. You know, some people say you got to know Spanish in order to join this gang, and some, you know, it is like that sometimes. But in other instances, you might have some, you know, higher-rank individual bring you in. It just all depends on the individual, the location, the group of people that are in that prison. It all depends. And, you know, this is the crazy thing. A lot of people are ashamed, you know, a lot of Latinos are ashamed to even mention that they don't know Spanish. You know what I mean? You know, a lot of people try to keep that under wraps. Don't be ashamed of it, man. Look, if you were born in America, if you got a job in America, if you paid taxes in America, you're an American, my friend. I mean, I understand you want to bond with your heritage, whatever, where you came from. But check it out. You live in America. You're born here. You're an American. You know, you see people all the time driving cars with like Italian flags and Colombian flags, Mexican flags on the freaking mirror. 90% of these fools ain't never even been to that country. You know what I mean? They just want to represent and feel a part of that group. You know, everybody nowadays wants to be a part of some kind of group. They want to be something different, you know? Why not fly that American flag? You know what I mean? Why not hang that American flag from your mirror? But don't ever be ashamed, even because of our history, our past as a country, of how it was created, all the bad things that we've done. But look at all the good things we've done, okay? Represent your freaking country, okay? I'm an American, okay? I might be half Latino, I might be half white, but it doesn't matter what I am. I was born and raised in this country. My kids are born and raised in this country. I'm an American. If a group of your own people, own Latinos, is going to attack you because you don't know Spanish, they ain't your people, homeboy. You know what I mean? They should embrace you regardless, you know? So just keep that in mind, all y'all individuals out there that don't know Spanish, but you should, because the rest of your family does, you know? Don't be ashamed, man. You're you. But anyways, to sum it all up, Tino, in your question, it just depends on where you're at, okay, what you're trying to do. If you're trying to get involved in gangs, if you're just trying to enlighten your mind and come into, you know, get closer to your heritage and where you came from, you know, people in prison will definitely help you out. I've seen it happen numerous times. Now, speaking for the West Coast, it might be different, man. You might get shanked up a couple times just because you don't know Spanish. You know, they might take it personally, you know, you never know. But I hope that answers your question a little bit. And just keep in mind, I am that individual and I survived prison, man. And I survived some pretty hardcore penitentiaries with some pretty hardcore Latino gang members all around me. You know, it's just how it goes. But some people might have a different ride. You know, it's hard for me to say. It just all depends on you, your character, and how, you know, how you approach the situation or how you try to get away from the situation. But never be ashamed of who you are. If you don't speak Spanish, don't be ashamed. Like, look, man, no habla español, you know? But anyways, on to the next question. This one's from Roxanne, okay? She says, also, why do people mess with people's minds so much on the street and in prison? And is it possible to be a true Christian in prison? Very good question, okay? Why do people mess with people's minds? I don't know. That's going to happen, you know, forever. It's going to happen forever. It's been happening since day one. It's going to happen on the last day, okay, of our existence. People will mess with your minds. It's usually for their own personal gain. If they're messing with your mind, it's because they're trying to get something or get you to do something that's going to benefit them. You know what I mean? I don't know why people do it. They just do. And as far as your Christian question, that's kind of a tongue twister, but is it possible to be a true Christian in prison? Yeah, it's possible. You can be a true Christian. Look, everyone thinks being a Christian is being perfect. It ain't about being perfect, man. Let me enlighten you. It ain't about being perfect, and I got a lot of scripture to go with it. But look, in prison, I do believe there's a lot of temptation that is taken away from you in order for you to get closer or feel as though you're a better Christian, okay? There are people that get locked up and they act, you know, like they are one of the 12 disciples, like they are just perfect. You know, that's how it goes. And these guys are the first ones to leave prison and forget about all the crap that they did. But when you're in prison, a lot of temptations is gone. Drug use, women, you know, pornography, stuff like that. All that stuff goes out the window, even though you can get a little, you know, black and white photos and Playboys and stuff like that every once in a while. But a lot of temptations is taken away from you. So, of course, people are going to do better. Okay, just, you know, just like drug addicts, when they get locked up, they're going to do better because they're forced to, you know. And they might think that they're doing it on their own, but the real test comes out when you hit the streets, you know. But yes, you can be a true Christian whether you're in prison, wherever you're at. You could always be a true Christian. It doesn't matter if you're in prison or not. You know what I mean? It's just where your heart is, where your heart is. Good question, though, Roxanne. Hope that helps a little bit. The next question comes from Jap3108. Says, how do y'all manage to get past infidelity in the relationship? Obviously, it's happened from both ends for y'all. My husband never actually cheated. I guess you'd call it micro cheating. and I'm having the hardest time getting over it. I know our family should be worth more than what he did, but I can't seem to get past the betrayal. Well, I don't know where you say both sides of this happened to us. I mean, we haven't cheated on each other, but I've been cheated on, and I've cheated on people before too and made it work. Look, check it out. Having sex is a big deal in a relationship, and when you give your personal body to someone else other than your partner, it could be a big deal, okay? The best thing that I can say for you is to not dwell on it. People that dwell and picture it happening are the ones that are never going to make it work, okay? People mess up, but yes, you can make a relationship work. The best way to get over it is to not think of it the way that you're thinking of it, okay? Let's say, I've said it before in some of my relationship videos, if I were to find out that my wife cheated on me, you got to look at it like this. If it's meant to be, she's going to change everything about her, and she's going to really show that it was a mistake. You know what I mean? Of course, you got to be on guard and stuff, but that's when you got to ask yourself, when is the right time to separate from that individual, I'd say give them one chance. Give them one chance, dust off your shoulders. Don't think about it again. If it happens again, hit the streets. You know what I mean? That's just how it goes. But people do make mistakes, and it's hard not to dwell on stuff like this. But look, it's just a physical action, okay? There's much more to a relationship than just sex, But me personally, I look at sex in a relationship from I can't even break it down to how I look at it. You know what I mean? Almost as though sex is just like a physical training activity or something. It has nothing. It does have a lot to do with your relationship. If you're not sexually attracted with someone, then of course the relationship might not last long. But at the same time, there's so much more to the relationship. You just really got to analyze your partner, but you got to give them the benefit of the doubt. If you're deciding to give that person a second chance, look, then give him a second chance. Don't keep holding it over his head. You know what I mean? It's just like anything else. If the judge gives me a bond, you're not going to hear the judge call me every day like, man, you sure you're doing good? You sure you're doing good? Or you're not going to see the judge clocking my text messages or anything like that. It's just, something along those lines. If you're going to give your partner a second chance, hey, wash it away. Clean slate. Don't be picking and nagging on him or her left and right because you can't seem to let the past go. If you can't let the past go, then you need to freaking go. You know what I mean? The mind is a powerful thing. I say it a lot. The mind is a powerful thing, and it can really persuade you to do stupid stuff, and it can really entrap you into your own prison, all right? Especially when it comes to this whole cheating thing. The best thing that I can say is try your hardest to not think about it. Never bring it up. If you're going to forgive the person, don't bring it up no more. You know what I mean? Give them a clean slate, and that's that. I know a lot of people might not agree with me, but, some people leave the individual after they find out that they're cheated on, and that's your own prerogative. But I'm just saying there are, you can move past it. It happens all the time, all across the world. People are cheating, and they still make it work, and they end up dying together. You know what I mean? As husband and wife, long old age. So always remember that. But anyways, I hope that answered your question just a little bit. Now, last but not least, and this is going to be a quick answer to it, someone by the name of Tomek Was says, I've got a question. When you was in prison, did you see any Russian mafia in prison? If you could do a video on it, and if you can explain it, thanks. I saw none. As far as I know, I saw no Russian mob, none of that stuff. Okay, there's only a couple people that I met that spoke Russian, you know what I mean? And they didn't look like they were affiliated with anything, but yeah, I didn't see none of that. And if they are, I'm sure they keep stuff on the low. I've noticed Russians handle things a little different. The first Russian, mob members, I guess you could say, that I met was at a campground, a Koa campground, okay? I remember me and my wife, we had too many ribs and steaks that we grilled, so I took it next to the RV next to us. I didn't know who they were. I just grabbed them and took them over there. It turned out there were some freaking Russian gangsters, you know what I mean? And they came back and brought us a whole bottle of freaking vodka. I was like, man, I don't even drink vodka, you know what I mean? I was like, I'll take it, you know what I mean? I'm drinking it tonight. So they took the vodka, we started drinking with them and stuff at the campfire, man. I'll tell you what, they told me some crazy stuff. you know. And it's funny because these Russians at least, they were very humbled, respectful, you know, moved low key. But once they started drinking that vodka, boy, they opened up like a book. You know what I mean? They started telling me war stories and all kinds of crazy stuff. So yeah, you know, that Russian mob stuff, it's all, you know, I'm not very familiar with any of it, to tell you the truth. I don't see too much activity like that around here. But at the same time, I've met a few of these type of individuals, and they definitely, you know, it's hard to explain. They move in a different manner than most, you know, organizations, if that makes sense. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't done it already. Check out all the links in the description of the video. Add me up on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. I gave Twitch a 2-day break because I've been really busy, but I'll be back in the mix tonight, late night, with a good horror game, you know what I mean? And also, do not forget to check out my wife's channel, The Compound 24/7, all right? That's right. She's going to be dropping her hot wing video today. If you want to know how to cook your own freaking hot wings the right way, go check it out. And also, stay tuned for some more interviews, man. I got a lot of people on Instagram telling me left and right they got stories, and some of these stories are absolutely wild, man. So stay tuned for all that great content coming y'all's way. And as always, I salute to every last one of you who've been supporting me since the beginning, and everyone who's just now joining the Lockdown Compound. Y'all be easy out there.